Hi, I'm Irving. Welcome to Captain Marvel.
And now, back to Shazam!
We start by watching a young lady riding a horse. I think she likes it.
Oh, Beckett, I know you're lonely, but I'll come and visit you every day, just like I promised. Here. Aunt Jennifer always told me never to give you sugar, but I know how much you like it.
Aunt Jennifer, as we'll learn, owned the horse, but she recently died. Beckett's ownership and future are in limbo.
Hi, Dad! Mr. Roberts.
Wait here. I want to break this tour easy.
Break what to her?
It seems as if Aunt Jenny left a clause in her will that states that in case of her death, Beckett,
What about Beckett, Dad?
He's a killer horse, that's what.
Beckett wouldn't hurt anybody.
Yeah? Well, I wouldn't have this bum leg if it wasn't for him.
well, if you'd have treated him right, maybe it never would have happened, Nick.
Do you realize how much information we just got in less than 20 seconds? That guy has a grudge against the horse, and Aunt Jenny's will didn't help because it left particular instructions about Beckett.
No matter. He's got to be destroyed.
Destroyed?
This isn't ancient Egypt. We're not in the habit of sending our pets into the afterlife with us. Somebody forgot to tell that to Aunt Jenny.
Nick,
Yeah.
look, why don't you invite me inside and we'll have a cup of coffee and talk this over.
There's nothing to talk over, Sheriff. We got a job to do. Let's get on with it.
You're really enjoying this, aren't you?
Yes, he is. He gets off on breaking little girls' hearts, and killing the horse will make his leg all better. He slowly agrees to have a cup of coffee and talk, but it won't change anything. Elsewhere, Billy is drawing caricatures of Mentor when the elders call.
The most important thing to learn today is that there's always a way to work things out by reason.
The creatures of Earth are given to man not only to enjoy and benefit from, but to love and protect.
Love which is possessive and refuses to share destroys the very object of love.
Even when laws have been written down, they ought not always to remain unaltered.
Translation: don't let the mean man kill the horse. Somebody's already on that.
Lynn! Lynn!
Billy and Mentor have stopped for a picnic lunch.
This still beats the noise and clatter of the roadside diner, hmm?
The noise and clatter of hoofbeats is much more soothing.
I'll never let him find you, Beckett.
They see Beckett go by without the horse and track her down. She explains everything and they head for town to try and find Beckett before the mean man does. They find the sheriff instead and deliver Lynn back to him.
You know taking Beckett was wrong, don't you?
I know you've always taught me to respect the law, but if the law says that Beckett has to die, I'm sorry. I just can't respect that.
She and Billy were discussing why Aunt Jenny would want Beckett destroyed when she died. They concluded that her love for Beckett was a very selfish kind that couldn't stand to share him with anyone else, even after she wasn't there anymore. If the law upholds something like that, the law needs to be changed.
That there's always a way to work things out by reason, rather than impulsive action.
They try to talk to the sheriff, but he says there's nothing he can do. Beckett gets the needle at noon. Lynn has given up, but Billy says there's more we can do.
I want these kids out of here, Sheriff.
Mentor calmly explains that they are on public property and demonstrating peacefully. The sheriff agrees they're not breaking any laws. In fact,
If you don't take action, I'm going to go over your head.
I am going to take action, Nick. Kids, hold it a minute. As sheriff of this county, I hereby delay the execution of the will until 5 o'clock today.
the sheriff is doing something very subtle here. He isn't treating this like putting an animal down. He's treating it like execution of a criminal. He's calling it an execution and setting it for a specific time as though it's a public hanging. He's talking as though Beckett is a person. He's trying to shame Nick into changing his mind and being a little reasonable. It isn't working, but the way it's done is exquisite. This show has a lot of respect for its audience's ability to pick up subtleties like that.
You're not going to get away with this, Colby.
Mr. Mentor, this may give us enough time to get in touch with Judge Ritzy. Maybe he can help.
The sheriff and the others leave. Lynn says she's going to stay here with Beckett.
You quit that whinnying. You're gonna get yours, Beckett. Beckett!
What was he trying to do? And what did he expect a horse to do? Beckett knows this guy hates him and means him harm. He can smell it. It's becoming clearer and clearer that Beckett didn't hobble Nick's legs. Stupidity did. The sheriff just learned that the judge is out of town until next week and he can't delay things that long. Lynn calls and tells him the situation. He takes off to pick her up and hopefully defuse the situation. Once they're all gone, Billy does his thing.
Shazam!
Everybody is after Beckett. Nick gets there first. Nick is not nice. He's just going to stand there while Beckett suffers and eventually dies. Captain Marvel needs to drop a tree on him. The sheriff makes him help push, but they can't move the tree.
I'm telling you, Sheriff, put him out of his misery. It's the only humane thing to do.
Since when were you ever humane?
It's got a point, Lynn. Beckett's suffering.
Got a rope? Tie it to the tree and use one of the vehicles to pull it off Beckett. Make Nick do it since he dropped the tree on the horse in the first place. Never mind. Now make Nick come hold it while you check on the horse.
Beckett, you're as good as new.
Never mind again. Captain Marvel's super strength seems to be limited. At least the way he lifted that thing made it look like he was having a hard time of it. And it's not the first time. We've also seen a bit of this in Wonder Woman when she's wrestling with a foe and her strength doesn't seem to be enough. As viewer Gabriel Koch says, you have pointed to a major weakness in superhero series. The superhero is very strong and nevertheless the villain, like here the beautiful Baroness, fights against her downhill. The only thing is that most people do not care about these logical pitfalls. Otherwise, you must create villains which are almost as strong or stronger, but this may lead to more cartoon stories. A good way to overcome this is that the superhero must have defined weaknesses which are logical and can drive excitement, especially in a series where the viewer does know about it. It leaves me wondering if we are deliberately restricting Captain Marvel's powers a bit for those kinds of reasons. Whatever the cause, I think it makes him a little more approachable because he's not Superman. He has some limits. He has the strength to do these things, but it takes some effort.
A lot of good it'll do him. We still got a 5 o'clock deadline, remember?
Every party has its pooper, that's why we invited you. The sheriff says the only hope would be a court order, but the place to get it is 500 miles away. Captain Marvel says, I'll be right back.
Here's your court order rescinding Beckett's execution.
Look.
Thank you, Captain Marvel. And tell Billy that I've learned that there's more than one way of doing things.
I assume it also gives custody of Beckett to the sheriff and Lynn. Nick can't do anything but stand there and growl, and it's a convincing growl. John Carlin, who went on to play Harvey Lacey in the Cagney and Lacey series, made Nick into one of those characters you love to hate. And I like that there's no redemption for him. He doesn't change a bit. It tells the audience that things don't always come out happily ever after. Some people are comfortable in their anger and hatred and won't give it up. It's another of those subtle little messages that doesn't even need to be stated. The kids will pick it up. I find myself wishing this had been around when I was its target age. The writing is some of the best I've seen in a show of this type. If we cut out some of the padding, it could be about 15 minutes long, but as I've said before, runtime is a cruel taskmaster. You do what you have to do. It'd be easy to rag on the effects, but when you get right down to it, there isn't really anything that you could call special effects. There's the transformation, which is nothing but overlays, and the things like Captain Marvel pretending to fly and lift heavy stuff. That's nothing but practical effects, and these are done at least as well as the ones in, say, the old Superman series. And again, Captain Marvel isn't the focus anyway. Today, Lynn is the main character. As we watch, we're not even thinking about Captain Marvel. We're thinking about that poor girl and what that mean guy is going to do to the horse that she loves. Then Captain Marvel saves the day. Wait, Captain who? Oh, right, him. Is the horse okay? It's delightful to watch. I'm looking forward to the next one. I'll see you then.